Hello, everyone. Antonio Sayan, Celebrity Spotlight Radio here. I came across Joe Rogan accusing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, one of the most famous people on the planet. And now, at the age of 50 years old, he's basically accusing him of steroid use. I mean, one of his recent podcasts, he urges The Rock to admit that he uses steroids to stay in great shape. Now, I heard this and I had to put my 2 cents in. Anyway, this is what Joe Rogan said on his show. The Rock should come clean right now. He should make a video in response to the Liver King video. I need to talk to you because The Rock's been lying. There's not a chance in hell he's clean. Not a chance in hell. As big as The Rock is at 50, he's so massive and he's so different than he was when he was 30. There's a responsibility you have to people who are listening to you. If you don't want to talk about it, that's one thing. But if you do talk about it, there's a responsibility you have to people listening to you, and I think you have to be honest about it, which is why I'm honest about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with taking hormone replacement. You know, it was a different time when he wrestled. He wasn't ripped. He was just a big guy, and now that he's older, and he's in the movies, he trims down and shreds up. He gets ripped is what he does. So, I'm diabetic now. So I learned a lot about how you eat. And I have no sugar, low carbs, high protein, and I eat the good fat. And I noticed that I lost a lot of weight. So Dwayne Johnson probably does the same when he's getting ready for a film. Let's face facts here. I don't believe a minute that he took drugs. I really don't. And I don't even know why is the talk of the town. Why you're so into, hey man, the Liver King lied. You know what? When I watched this guy's videos, and I knew that this guy was lying. His body is completely different than Dwayne Johnson's body. I look at Dwayne Johnson and I see him as more like a fitness guy than a bodybuilder. A bodybuilder, he trains to compete. And a lot of the bodybuilders take a lot of steroids. Nobody's going to admit to it. They're going to say they're clean. But But in this case, I'm going with the fact that Dwayne Johnson is not on steroids. And you know what? Who cares? Do you really care, Joe? I mean, really? You know what I'm saying? Do you really care that if he comes to you and he tells you, hey, man, yeah, I'm on steroids, what? Is it a big deal? Because you admitted that you're on performance drugs, that he should say it? Oh, come on, But coming from me, and you don't know who I am from a hole in the wall, but believe it or not, I know a lot about training. And my brother was a physical therapist, and he taught me a lot, over the years. And yes, he died a long time ago in a car accident. And he wasn't able to live his dream. But I could tell you that the guy was big. He was a big guy, and he was young. And I believe that if he was alive today, he would have been 60, my brother. And he would be big. He would be ripped. He would continue to exercise, and he would stay clean. Because he inherited all that, from family. That was my brother Angel. And I believe that Dwayne Johnson also. So I'm going to play you the clip where Joe Rogan basically wants Dwayne Johnson to come clean.
Thanks. So, The Rock is fucking clean, for example.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
does The Rock say he's clean?
He has implied it pretty heavily, but he also doesn't end up in scenarios where he gets asked point blank, whereas Liver King goes out of his way to fucking lean into it and use it as like a marketing spiel.
The Rock should come clean right now. He should make a video in response to the Liver King video. Yeah. I need to talk to you because The Rock's been lying.
Yeah. No, yeah,
there's not a fucking chance in hell he's clean.
No.
Not a chance in hell. As big as The Rock is, at 50?
What was wild is he came out, okay, and I get this is like coincides with the message he would want to push too. And I don't think it's like disingenuous necessarily, but it's like he was on a Men's Health interview and he talks about how his number one priority is longevity now.
The Rock?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, like everything you're doing is like the hyper opposite of that. Like in terms of a diet, a lifestyle, potentially, but like the drug exposure to maintain the physique, to then do the superhero roles, to do the whatever at his age, like it's clearly not longevity focused. It's very much like, how much can I milk this right now with my brand sort of thing.
Well, we're not, when you're looking at a physique, let's look at a physique of The Rock, like a full jacked Rock. Find The Rock at his most jackety jacked.
He's like pretty fucking peaked in terms of like the last few years. He's definitely like turned it up a notch.
At 50.
Yeah.
That's natural, bro. That's
how could you think otherwise?
Eats a lot of sushi.
Yeah.
But point is, it's like you can't even get there with HRT. That's not HRT.
No.
Like that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And it's like, is this pro longevity? Like, of course not. And it's
no, he's so massive and he's so different than he was when he was 30.
Yeah, when you're in your 20s and obviously mindful of your image and, you're still working out like a maniac, you're like a top tier. Like, he's a genetic marvel, as is anyways when he was natural. Like,
yes.
So to have all of a sudden 30 years later, like you're in better form than you were in your 20s, like it's just fucking obvious, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, this is okay, but there's some better videos of him.
When I look back, I look at my brother, my older brother. He died in a car accident years ago at the age of 25. But I remember him at 17 playing football in high school and in college. He was a big dude. He was tall, like 6'2", broad shoulders. And people used to come up to him all the time and say if he was on steroids. And the thing is, with my brother Angel, is he had genetics. And he ate right, he trained hard, and he was strong as an ox, I tell you. He was a linebacker, and, he had the same injury as Dwayne Johnson. His knee took him out, and that was it, And then my brother went to college and studied physical therapy. He became a sports medicine physical therapist. And he knew the whole science of it. Okay, this is a time where physical therapy wasn't known like it is today. Like, it's huge now. So my brother was always into the science. And I could tell you for a fact that he didn't believe in drugs. Okay, he believed in training hard. And he would always mix with the right people, when he trained. I mean, he trained with bodybuilders, my brother, and he taught me very well. At a young age, I was skinny, and he trained me before he died. So I got really big at one time, and I didn't take any steroids. I mean, I'm older than Dwayne Johnson now. And, I got a lot of responsibility, so I slowed down in the gym. But my brother would have been 60 if he was alive today. And I could tell you from experience that he would have been huge and ripped because that's the way he was. He would have never stopped training. There were times where he he laid off because he was studying so much. But he taught me one thing, my brother. He said to me, if you ever lay off for a couple of months or 3 months, when you come back to train, in 2 weeks, just remember this, your body will remember. And he's absolutely right. I go back to the gym in 2 weeks, my body remembers the training, and I train even harder, harder than anyone else. That's the way it is. And when I watch Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson train, okay, in Instagram, that guy trains hard. He does reps, something that a lot of people don't do. You know what? I go to the gym and I see people doing 3-4 reps, and they take like 5 minutes in between each set. I find that ridiculous, okay? He doesn't train like that. He trains hard, nonstop. And you have to understand his wrestling days, he was bulky. Now he's a movie star, okay? He's training, getting ripped, losing weight, in shape, for the movies, okay? So obviously it's a different method of training now. And he's probably got doctors watching him. And, he admits that he cheats. He has, a cheat meal once in a blue moon, like everybody else does, And you do that. So I don't know what the concern is of the urgency to get him to say, hey, man, I'm not clean. It just, why don't you just leave him alone? Let him do whatever it is he's doing. It's his life, But here's the thing. I don't believe 1 minute that he's on steroids, I think he eats right. He trains hard. He has a family. He's got a brand. He's got to watch himself, his family. So, no, I don't believe he's on steroids. I believe that he trains hard and eats right. And that's it. I want to know from you people, all you fitness gurus out there, what do you think? All you physical therapists, all you trainers, all you hardcore people out there, you bodybuilders, I want to know now, okay? Do you think, not that it matters, do you think, in your opinion, is he taking on steroids? Yes or no? And if you think he is, I want to know the facts, why you think so, okay? Because his father had genetics, like my father, okay? And my grandfather, who was a baseball player in his country. My brother inherited genes, and those genes, he was, man, never took drugs, was a big guy. That was my brother. And the way I see Dwayne Johnson is the same. Genetics. He trains hard. So I want to know your comments. Leave them below. God bless and stay safe. And remember, stay positive. Always positive. No negatives. All right? Let's stay focused in the positive of life. God bless you.